Hello friends. So we are in this particular session, we are going to handle the 20 questions which was asked by the UPSC in the CSE 2024 preliminary examination. Okay, so without wasting time, we are starting with the first question over here. So the first question is in relation to the Constituent Assembly. A simple question in the sense that it is totally factual, very simple question. And overall, when I speak about the questions of Indian polity, it was totally factual in nature. Almost 80 to 90 questions were factual in nature out of 20. And that is unusual when it, in fact, have got a connection with the UPSC examination. Okay, something that is unusual. After 2016, I think this is the first time that the UPSC has come forward with such an easy question paper. Regardless of the subject, it was totally, the general studies paper 1 was totally an easy paper in my personal analysis. So heading for the first question, who was the provisional president of the Constituent Assembly before Dr. Rajendra Prasad took over? Okay, so the question is in relation to the provisional president of the Constituent Assembly before Dr. Rajendra Prasad took over. So the answer, as you know, there is no doubt it was Dr. Sachidananda Sinha, isn't it? Dr. Sachidananda Sinha was the senior most member in the Constituent Assembly. And that was a French practice, isn't it? A French practice that you choose the senior member as the presiding officer of the first meeting. And then it was under the presiding of Dr. Sachidananda Sinha that Dr. Rajendra Prasad has later elected as the president of the Constituent Assembly. Fine. So that is what in relation to the first question. The second question says, with reference to the Government of India Act 1935, with reference to the Government of India Act 1935, consider the following statements. Statement number 1 says, it provided for the establishment of an All India Federation based on the union of the British Indian provinces and princely states. Statement number 2, defense and foreign affairs were kept under the control of federal legislature. So, my dear friends, the question is in relation with the blueprint of the Indian Constitution, isn't it? The Government of India Act of 1935 is also known as the blueprint of the Indian Constitution. Why? Because almost 55 to 60% of the Indian Constitution is derived from the Government of India Act of 1935, and that is the reason why it is also known as the blueprint of the Indian Constitution. So what is provided as the first statement is a right statement. Why? Because the Government of India Act of 1935 was providing for an All India Federation, my dear friends. What is All India Federation? So this was recommending for the creation of an All India Federation, but this All India Federation has never came up. Why? Because the princely states were negating this idea of All India Federation. Fine. So All India Federation was, the idea was, by British Parliament, the idea was All India Federation would be consisting of 2 units, that is princely states as well as the British Indian provinces. Okay, princely states as well as the British Indian provinces. So with these 2 federal units, an All India Federation needs to be created, and that was the recommendation of the Government of India Act of 1935. Again, it never came up. Second statement, the defense and foreign affairs were kept under the control of federal legislature. My goodness, this statement is wrong, isn't it? When you see this, you would occasionally, or you would probably think that this particular statement is right, but this statement is wrong. Why? Because the defense and foreign affairs, such crucial matters, isn't it? The defense and foreign affairs comes under such crucial matters. Now, you would think that, yes, it may be under the control of the federal legislature, but that was not so. It was control of the British government. Okay, the British government, under the direct control of the British government. Why? Because these subjects are very crucial in nature. So, which of these statements given above is or are correct? So, only one statement is correct. That is option A. That is 1 only. Fine. So, that is about the second question. Question number 3. As per Article 368. So Article 368 has asked by the UPSC in the same question paper in fact, as part of 2 questions. So Article 368 has become very crucial, and you can just think about the importance of Article number 368, isn't it? Why? Because there was many a times the reference to the amendment of the Constitution if Mr. Modi came back to or come back to power again for a third consecutive term with, say, for example, like an absolute majority, and it has not happened. But still, there was a controversy regarding removing the words like secularism, then changing the structure of the Constitution of India. So there was controversy regarding the amendment procedure of the Constitution. And even Mr. Modi was asking people to provide him 400 plus seats, or the BJP with 400 plus seats out of 543 Lok Sabha seats, and that has not become practical. Fine. So what is this question? As per Article number 368 of the Indian Constitution, so Article number 368 provides the Parliament the power for amendment of the Constitution. Okay, amendment of the Constitution. So as per Article 368 of the Constitution of India, the Parliament may amend any provision of the Constitution by way of addition, variation, repeal. Select the correct answer using the code given below. So the Parliament may do anything. Okay, the Parliament may add, subtract, or Parliament may vary, Parliament may repeal, Parliament may omit. But do not touch the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. Was delivered by the Supreme Court in the 13-bench constitutional, the 13-judge constitutional bench in the Keshavananda Bharati case of 1973. So the answer for this question is option B. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Yes, option B, that is 1, 2, and 3. Question number 4. Question number 4 says, which of the following statements is correct in respect of money bill? Money bill in the Parliament. So, money bill, the definition is provided in Article number 110 of the Indian Constitution. That's it. Article number 110 provides for the definition of money bill. Isn't it? Definition of money bill, which all subjects may become or may make a bill money bill. So that is what is Article 110 of the Indian Constitution speaks about. So what is the first statement here? Article 109 mentions a special procedure in respect of money bills. Oh, special procedure. Yes, my dear friends. Article 109, 99% of the aspirants does not know this. Article 109 mentions special procedure in respect of money bills. That is regarding the enactment of the money bills. What the Rajya Sabha can do. All those kind of things, Article 109 provides, my dear friends. Special procedure in respect to the money bill is provided as part of Article number 109. So this particular statement is wrong. Again, 99% of the aspirants may think that Article number 109 is not an article dealing with the money bill. It would be Article number 110. Yes, my dear friends, you are correct. The definition of the money bill is what is provided as part of Article 110. But here, the question is regarding the special procedure in respect of money bill. That is Article number 109. Fine. So first statement right means select the answer using the code given below. You may eliminate right only. So understand that the elimination has came back. Fine. The chance for eliminating the options and getting into the answers has came back. Welcome change again. A money bill shall not be introduced in the Council of States. If it is a money bill, that is something which deals exclusively the financial matters, and the financial matters are the power of Lok Sabha, my dear friends. Why? Because the house of people is Lok Sabha. It is the people's house, popular house. So people got their money. So if it is a money bill, it is or it shall be introduced only in Lok Sabha. So a money bill shall not be introduced in the Council of States. Okay, money bill shall not be introduced in the Council of States. This particular statement is also correct. The Rajya Sabha can either approve the bill or suggest changes, but cannot reject it. If it is a money bill, what Rajya Sabha can maximum possibly do is that 14 days they can keep the bill pending. Otherwise, they can provide some suggestions to Lok Sabha, which the Lok Sabha may accept or not. Fine. So, which the Lok Sabha may accept or not means the fourth statement says amendment to a money bill suggested by the Rajya Sabha has to be accepted by the Lok Sabha. Oh, my dear friends, no, this is wrong. It may be accepted by Lok Sabha or not. It is not binding on Lok Sabha. Fine. The third statement says the Rajya Sabha can either approve the bill, very good, fine, suggest changes, great, but cannot reject it. Absolutely correct. Okay, absolutely correct. The answer for this particular question is option C, that is 1, 2, and 3. Next. Question number 5, in relation to, say, internal security, you may say which one of the following is or are correctly matched in terms of equivalent rank in the 3 services of Indian Defense Forces. Fine. So, Army, Air Force, Navy, Brigadier, Air Commander, Major General, Air Vice Marshal, Vice Admiral, Major Squadron Leader, Lieutenant Commander. Yes, this is right. Fine. This is the right option, I think. We'll check the fourth one also. Lieutenant Colonel, Group Captain, no, my dear. It's no. The answer for this question is 3 only. Wait, 3 only. Question in relation to the internal security. Fine. Now, question number 6. The Northeastern Council was established by the Northeastern Councils Act of 1971, subsequent to the amendment of Northeastern Council Act in 2002. So, we will have to be conscious that we are speaking about the Northeastern Councils Act of 2002. Okay. The council comprises which of the following members? Again, totally factual, my dear friends. Totally factual. Now we will go from bottom to the top. The Union Home Minister of India. There is a chance that you would think that Union Home Minister would be a member in the Northeastern Council. But as per the Bare Act of 2002, the Union Home Minister is not a member in the Northeastern Council. You know, regarding the Northeast, there are certain special provisions and the President has got more power, not the Union Home Minister. But when we talk about the Zonal Council, the Union Home Minister becomes a member. But here, it is not the Union Home Minister of India. Fine. The Governor of the constituent state, correct. Chief Minister, yes. 3 numbers to be nominated by the President of India. More power to the great President of India. 1, 2, and 3 only. If it is the correct answer, that is what is provided to choose. Yes, 1, 2, and 3 only. Question number 7. Again, totally factual. Totally factual, my dear friends. 10% factual. How many delimitation commission? You know the importance of delimitation commission also, because we probably will have the next census in 2026 or after 2026. So following that, there should be a delimitation process by which there will be the division of the seats, rearrangement, in fact, after the delimitation process. So that we are waiting for that. What will happen? We'll see. How many delimitation commissions have been constituted by the Government of India till December 2023? The answer is 4, my dear friends. 4. So one was in 1952, 1963, then 1973, and 2002. Yeah, probably this would be the years. Okay, so the answer is anyway for delimitation commission. Next one. The Constitution 71st Amendment Act of 1992 amends the 8th schedule to the Constitution to include which of the following languages? 71st Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, 71st Constitutional Amendment Act has inserted Konkani, very good, Manipuri, Nepali, Maithili. So the answer, Konkani, Manipuri and Nepali. Yes, the first three, that is 1, 2 and 3. This is the answer. So Maithili was added by, I think, 91st Constitutional Amendment Act of 2003. Okay, so the question here is regarding the scheduled languages. Scheduled languages, and the scheduled languages is mentioned in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. So the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. What do you mean by scheduled languages, my dear friends? What do you mean by scheduled languages? Those scheduled languages are, see, the central government is provided with a constitutional duty. One is to protect the interest of minorities. Okay. The central government is provided with a constitutional duty. The central government has a constitutional duty, number one, to protect the interest of minorities. Protect the interest of minorities. At the same time, promote Hindi. Okay, promote Hindi. So for protecting the interest of minorities, I still know how, I still do not know how this is going to be happening at the same time, protecting the interest of minorities and promoting Hindi. Again, that is what you will have to think about. Fine. So Constitution says the central government that you will have to protect the interest of minorities as well as you have to promote Hindi. Now, for the protection of the interest of minorities, you have the offices like the Special Officer for Linguistic Minority, and you have the provisions provided in the Constitution of India for making the grievance redressal available in any languages, and providing the education, that is primary level of education in mother tongue for the interest of, for protecting the interest of linguistic minorities or the minority community, fine, that is linguistic minority. So that is what is provided by the Constitution of India. Now, the Constitution at the same time also asks the central government that you will have to please consider promoting Hindi. So for the promotion of Hindi, the union government has decided that we will enlist, okay, we will enlist, or in fact, the Constituent Assembly itself has decided that we will enlist different languages in Schedule 8 of the Indian Constitution in such a way that these languages, okay, these languages, say for example, there is Hindi, there is Malayalam, there is Tamil, there is Telugu, there is Kannada. So these languages would act as the source for Hindi to be developed in such a way that Hindi should be considered as lingua franca by the people of India, a common language by the people of India. So for that, you consider taking the vocabulary, the style, the expression from these 22 languages in the 8th schedule and consider developing or propagating Hindi, promoting Hindi. That is what is scheduled languages. Okay, so scheduled languages predominantly have one function, that the union government may adopt the styles, the vocabulary, all those kind of stuffs from these 22 languages mentioned in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution in such a way that the people will start feeling that this language, that is the Hindi, would be the lingua franca of the people of India. Fine. So the answer for this question is 1, 2 and 3, which we have already marked, isn't it? Yeah, that's it regarding question number 8. Question number 9. Party, its leader. Okay, party, its leader. Fine. So, yeah. Bharatiya Janasangh, Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee. Yes. Who does not know this? Socialist Party, C. Rajagopalachari. No, in fact, Socialist Party will have to be connected with Acharya Narendra Dev. So, Acharya Narendra Dev. Congress for Democracy, Jagjivan Ram, correct. Swatantra Party may be connected with C. Rajagopalachari. So, 2 correct. That means 1 and 3 correct. Isn't it? So, how many of the above are correctly matched? Only 2. Oh. We have eliminated the option of elimination. Fine. One question at least. Okay, great. Question number 10. Which of the following statements are correct about the Constitution of India? Very basic, my dear friends. The Constitution becomes the prime part. Isn't it? Out of 20 questions, I think almost 12 to 30 questions, 13 questions has got a very close relationship with the Constitution of India. And that itself proves the importance of Constitution in the present period, isn't it? The Constitution, you might have seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi was taking the chain ball to the parliament, and once he came back to the power, he has now decided that he will go down to the Constitution of India first, isn't it? So I don't know whether that may be the reason considered by the UPSC, no idea, but still the Constitution constitutes a major part in this particular question paper in relation to Indian polity. So fine. The first statement says the powers of the municipalities are given in Part 9A of the Indian Constitution. Absolutely correct. Emergency provisions, Part 18 of the Indian Constitution, correct. Provisions related to the amendment of the Constitution are given in Part 20. Amendment of the Constitution, Part 20 of the Constitution, yes. So all these three statements are correct, my dear friends. Very basic, fundamentals. The UPSC can't be more kind towards the aspirant community. So please understand, the UPSC wanted you to score more marks, isn't it? They wanted your smiling face. So that might be the reason they have come forward this kind of very simple questions. But at the same time, understand that as the question paper becomes simple in nature, the chance for the cutoff to shoot proportionally increases. So they have a proportional relationship. So be concentrated. Be careful always. Fine. Which one of the following statement is correct as per the Constitution of India? Again, Constitution, my dear friends. Again, Constitution. So I don't think the last year's prelims exam have got these much questions directly from the Constitution of India. That's great. Anyway, interstate trade and commerce was a subject. Interstate trade and commerce is a subject under the state list. Wrong. Interstate migration is a state subject under the state list. Wrong. Interstate quarantine is a union subject. Very good. Very good. Correct. Corporation tax is a state subject. No, my dear friends. We are speaking about corporation tax, isn't it? It's not a state subject. So the right statement for this particular question, which one of the following statements is correct as per the Constitution of India? Interstate quarantine is a union subject under voting list. That's question number 12. Again, Constitution of India. Which of the following articles of the Constitution has the Supreme Court of India placed the right to privacy, my dear friends? Right to privacy comes under the category of, comes from Article 21 as a derived right. Hope you would have remembering about A.S. Swami case, so that we have discussed this in the class. Everything in relation to the Constitution, I can guarantee that we have discussed in the Prelims cum Mains program, the classroom program of ClearIAS. This is my guarantee. We have covered all the questions of Indian polity, Constitution in the classroom program. Nothing has got left. Each and every aspirant would be able to get 10% of marks out of Indian polity, my dear friends, which I can guarantee. ClearIAS would definitely guarantee that. Fine. So we can check even, you can verify it even. Perfect. What are the duties of the Chief of Defense Staff as head of the Department of Military Affairs? Again, there is a question in relation to the internal security. Okay, the question is in relation to the internal security. Permanent chairman of Chief of Staff Committee. Correct. Okay, this particular statement is correct. So the question is in relation to the CDS. CDS. Just a second, guy. Permanent chairman of Chief of Staff Committee, great. Exercise military command over 3 service chiefs. No. No, my dear friends, this is wrong. Principal military advisor to the defense minister on all tri-service matter. Yes, absolutely. That is what is the function of the chief of defense staff, and the name itself is clear. Select the current answer using the code given below. Easy. Option B, 1 and 3 only. Great. Very easy questions. Question number 14. Ethics Committee. Out of the constitution, but still, ethics committee was very crucial in the last year, isn't it? Why? Because I think you would have been hearing the news about Bhupha Moitra being expelled from the Parliament of India, isn't it? So that would be the reason why ethics committee is in the news. So initially it was an ad hoc committee. Yes, it was constituted as an ad hoc committee. This particular statement is correct. Yeah, then the second statement says, only a member of the Lok Sabha can make a complaint relating to unethical conduct of a member of the Lok Sabha. Wrong. Any person, my dear friends, any person can make a complaint relating to unethical conduct of a member of Lok Sabha. This committee cannot take up any matter which is sub judice. This particular statement is wrong. This committee cannot take up any matter which is sub judice, which means any matter which is under the authority of judiciary will not be or shall not be taken by the ethics committee, isn't it? I think this particular statement is also correct. Correct. 1 and 3. Yes. C. The old pattern of UPSC, isn't it? You would be able to eliminate it if you know that statement number 2 is wrong. I think, yeah, you would be able to eliminate and get to the answer. That was 1 and 3. Yes. The next question. Question number 15. Again, Constitution comes into the picture. Question number 15 says, a writ of prohibition is an order issued by the Supreme Court or the High Courts to a government officer prohibiting him from taking a particular action. No. The Parliament or the Legislative Assembly to pass a law on prohibition. No. The lower court prohibiting continuation of proceedings in that case. What do you mean by prohibition? So prohibition is stay. Stay order, my dear friends. Okay, stay order. The government prohibiting it from following an unconstitutional policy. Wrong. Stay order. Okay. So question number 15 will be having option that is C. Question number 16. Consider the following statement is the governor of the state who recognizes and declares any community of that state as a scheduled tribe. Again, there may be confusion for many number of aspirants. Again, this is something which may be connected with the governor, his functions. And there can be a chance that you will get into the confusion for this particular question. But in fact, you will have to be very conscious in the examination hall that this question, the first statement is wrong. Why? Because it is not the governor of the state. It is the president of India. So it is the president of India. It is not the governor of the state. It is the president of India. It is the president of India. President of India. Fine. Yes. The second statement, a community declared as a scheduled tribe in a state needs to be so, need not be so in another state. Yes, the statement is correct. The statement number 1 is wrong and statement number 2 is correct. Which of the following statements given above is or are correct? Option B, that is 2 only. Fine. So question number 16 is that. Question number 17. It's very easy, isn't it? We are moving very fast. So I think we have started the discussion only just before 20 minutes and it's almost 17 questions. Very fast. It could be solved easily. With reference to the union budget, consider the following statements. Yes. The Union Finance Minister, on behalf of the Prime Minister, lays the annual financial statement before both houses of Parliament. The Union Finance Minister lays down the budget. That is a convention. Very good. On behalf of the Prime Minister. No way. So this is a wrong statement. At the union level, no demand for a grant can be made except on the recommendation of the President of India. Correct. These are correct. Two only, again, something which we have already covered in the classroom program. I do not want to discuss further. With reference to the Speaker of Lok Sabha, consider the following statements. Speaker comes into picture. Why? Again, there may be a reason that Speaker plays a very crucial role, be it in Lok Sabha or the state legislative assemblies. Why? Because the disqualification due to defection may be decided by the Speaker of that particular state, and that might be the reason why the Speaker is playing an important role. And that role is equally signified or taken into consideration by the Union Public Service Commission in their examination. With reference to the Speaker of Lok Sabha, consider the following statement. While any resolution for the removal of the Speaker of Lok Sabha is under consideration. So the removal of the Speaker of Lok Sabha, is being considered. Fine. So just understand, my dear friends, the Speaker is the presiding officer in Lok Sabha, isn't it? The Speaker stands in the dais, who sits on the dais. Usually what happens is that when there is voting in the House, the Speaker will have to wait. Why? Because he or she is not supposed to vote in the first instance. That is not possible. So that person will have to wait. Now, once the voting is over, suppose if there is an equal split, that is 50% of the members say yes, 50% of them says no, means there is a split that is equal. There is a tie. At that instance, the Speaker may come and vote as a tiebreaker vote, or you may say it is a casting vote. But if it is the removal of the Speaker that is being considered, okay, if it is the removal of the Speaker, so suppose just imagine this is the situation, this is Lok Sabha, the Speaker is here, fine. The removal is being considered, the Speaker will stand and come here. He will sit as an ordinary member. Okay, he will sit as an ordinary member. And the Deputy Speaker will stand up from here, will come and sit here. Why? Because nobody can be judged in this on case. The principle of natural justice, as you may know. So the Speaker will not be the presiding officer on the resolution or on considering the resolution of the removal of the Speaker. So it's fair enough that the first statement is correct. Why? Why? Any resolution for the removal of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha is under consideration. He or she shall not decide. Correct. He or she shall not have the right to speak. My dear friends, when there is the removal resolution that is being considered in relation to my activity, I will be provided a chance for self-explanation. So there is chance for the Speaker being now considered as an ordinary member. He may speak and explain himself. So he shall not have the right to speak is wrong. He or she shall not be entitled to vote on the resolution on the first instance. I have already told you, generally the Speaker is not supposed to vote in the first instance, but if it is the removal resolution of the Speaker that is being considered, then the Speaker may vote in the first instance along with other members of Lok Sabha. So if it is shall not be entitled to vote on the resolution in the first instance means this is wrong. The answer for this question is option A, that is 1 only. Hope this is clear for you. Fine. Question number 19. Very, very important, my friends. Very, 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 very important. Why? Because this is one of the area which we have published a short video on our YouTube channel. You can please refer this with reference to the bill that is pending in the House on the dissolution of Lok Sabha. What is the status of bills that is pending in the House in relation to or after the dissolution of Lok Sabha? So you can just see, or you can just search status of bills pending in Lok Sabha. You would see this way of solving this particular question, and it is a wonderful way. You would be easily able to solve this particular question. Question number 1, a bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its dissolution. A bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its dissolution. So I have told you two important things in that video. That is, the bill is touched by Lok Sabha. Okay, if the bill is touched by Lok Sabha, on the dissolution of Lok Sabha, the bill lapses. Okay, so if the bill is touched by Lok Sabha, on the dissolution of the Lok Sabha, the bill will lapse. If the bill is touched by the President of India, if the bill is touched by the President of India, sir, it is the President of India who is having the great immunity. Okay, so if the bill is touched by the President of India on the dissolution of Lok Sabha, the bill does not lapse. 2 points will have to be remembered to solve these questions even on your successive attempts. Okay, so statement number 1, a bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its dissolution. Fine. A bill pending in Lok Sabha. Fine. A bill pending in Lok Sabha may be 2 instances. One is that bill may be originating in Rajya Sabha, and the bill has got passed to Lok Sabha, and the bill is pending in Lok Sabha. Now the bill may be originating in Lok Sabha itself and it is pending. Meanwhile, the Lok Sabha has got dissolved. Fine. So in both of the cases, the bill is touched by Lok Sabha. If the bill is touched by Lok Sabha, on the dissolution of the Lok Sabha, the bill lapses. A bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its dissolution. My goodness, correct statement. Statement number 1 is correct, means eliminate 2 and 3 as well as 3 only, isn't it? Statement number 2 will make it sure what is your answer, isn't it? A bill passed by the Lok Sabha and pending in the Rajya Sabha lapses on the dissolution of Lok Sabha. So the condition is that, suppose this is Lok Sabha, this is Rajya Sabha, fine. Second condition says that a bill passed by the Lok Sabha, bill was passed by Lok Sabha, pending in the Rajya Sabha, bill is here, pending, lapses on the dissolution of Lok Sabha. So the Lok Sabha has got dissolved here. Now what did I tell you? If the bill is touched by Lok Sabha, on the dissolution of the Lok Sabha, the bill lapses. The bill is touched by Lok Sabha. On the dissolution of Lok Sabha, the bill lapses. Statement number 2 is also correct. Means to get the answer, that's 1 and 2. What does the third statement say? A bill in regard to which the President of India notified his or her intention to summon the Houses for a joint sitting lapses on the dissolution of the Lok Sabha. The President of India has came forward with an intention notifying that he would call a joint sitting because of the disagreement between the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So there's a disagreement. Okay, so you know that what may be the situation of joint sitting, isn't it? Suppose Lok Sabha is passing a bill, Rajya Sabha is rejecting this, Lok Sabha is passing the bill, Rajya Sabha is making some amendment, sending it back to Lok Sabha. Now Lok Sabha is not ready to pass the bill. Lok Sabha is passing the bill. Rajya Sabha is keeping the bill pending for more than 6 months. In all these 3 cases, there is a legislative deadlock. This may be one of the situation where the President of India may call for a joint sitting. Okay, the President of India may call for a joint sitting. So, in any of these instances, if the President of India notifies that there will be a joint sitting, what is said in the statement is that in such a situation, if the President of India is notified that there will be a joint sitting, the bill lapses. Will that bill lapse? I have already told you that if the President is showing some interest, if the President has touched a bill, there is no chance this is going to lapse. The statement is wrong. The answer for this question is option B, that is 1 and 2 1. Question number 20. Again, something which is in relation to the sessions of the Parliament. Okay, reference to the Parliament of India, consider the following statement. Prorogation of a house by the President of India does not require the advice of the Council of Ministers. Now, what do you mean by prorogation? What do you mean by prorogation? I think you would have heard about summon, isn't it? Summon. Summon means it is official invitation, or you are summoning the session means, say for example, the President of India will write letter to all the members of the Parliament that from this particular date, we are going to start the monsoon session or the winter session or the budget session. So all the members will have to be present in the new parliamentary building, isn't it? So just for understanding, the President will invite all the members of the Parliament. And this is what do you mean by summoning. And prorogation means it is the official declaration that the session has got ended. Okay, it is the official declaration that the session has got ended. Fine. So prorogation of a house by the President of India does not require the advice of the Council of Ministers. Sir, the President of India is a nominal head. The real head is the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. So the President of India will have to be performing actions on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. So even for the declaration of prorogation, the President will have to wait for the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. So prorogation of a house by the President of India does not require the advice of Council of Ministers. Wrong. Statement number 1 is wrong means in the way the correct is asked. Third statement is anyway correct. We are going for the second statement. Prorogation of a house is generally done after the house is adjourned sine die, but there is no bar to the President of India prorogating the house which is in session. My dear friends, let me brief it. Say, for example, the house session starts, and each day there will be different meetings or different sittings, you may say. Now, as part of the sitting, so suppose if the sitting is progressing and meanwhile there is an issue in the house, say for example, if the opposition starts raising slogans against the government or any one political leader or the policy of the government, the speaker will have no choice but will have to just temporarily suspend the proceedings of the house, and that is what you mean by adjournment. If the speaker says reassembly or the time for reassembly, that is what is adjournment, and adjournment sine die means the speaker will not speak about the time of reassembly. That means the speaker has uncertainty regarding when does we reassemble further. So that is what do you mean by adjournment sine die. Okay, adjournment sine die. That means no idea regarding when we'll be having the reassembly. Now, if the reassembly time is not provided by the Speaker of Lok Sabha, okay, it's not mentioned by the Speaker of Lok Sabha, the President of India will understand that yes, this agenda of this particular session has got over. The agenda of this particular session has gone over, and now it is the time for me to declare prorogation, isn't it? So that is what will be the indication for the President of India to go for declaring the official end of the session. Now the question. So the first half is very clear. The prorogation of a house is generally done after the house is adjourned signed. Up to that it is clear, right? But there is no bar to the President of India prorogating the house which is in session. That means, suppose if there is no adjournment or no adjournment signed, and if, say for example, there is any crucial instance regarding the death of any eminent person for which we are unable to continue the session, that kind of important issue, in such a case, the President can even prorogue the session without waiting for the adjournment signed. Are you getting this? So the second statement here is correct. I think prorogation of a house is generally done after the house is adjourned signed, but there is no bar to the President of India prorogating the house which is in session. 2 is correct. 3 is anyway correct. Dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by the President of India, who said in exceptional circumstances does so on the advice of the Council of Ministers, my dear friends. Dissolution means the tenure of the Lok Sabha comes to an end. Fine. So what is the difference between prorogation, dissolution, adjournment? It is very, very important. We have discussed about prorogation and adjournment. We'll have to understand about what is dissolution. Dissolution means the end of that particular Lok Sabha. That is what is dissolution. And dissolution is exclusively in relation with the lower house, be it the State Legislative Assembly or Lok Sabha. That is how we use the term dissolution. That means the term has got officially ended. We will have to have new Lok Sabha in place after that. So dissolution usually, say for example, after 5 years or once 5 into 365 days are over, Lok Sabha will get automatically dissolved. Now, if Prime Minister Narendra Modi wanted to conduct the elections earlier, before the completion of 4.5 years or 5 years, he may advise the President of India, sir, I am very confident in my performance, in my team's performance. So please dissolve the house and declare for the fresh elections. So in that regard, if the President is sure that the Prime Minister have got enough support in the Lok Sabha, then the President of India will have to abide by the instruction given by the Prime Minister. So he will be or she will be declaring the dissolution of Lok Sabha in that instance. Fine. In exceptional circumstances, does so on the advice of Council of Ministers. Even without the advice of Council of Ministers also, the President of India may declare the dissolution of Lok Sabha. Say for example, once the elections are over. Now, why does I explain this is because it may in one or the other way that will be productive for your mains examination. Say for example, if once after the election, okay, in the Lok Sabha election, the results are out, and suppose you just imagine that no political party, no alliance, pre-poll alliance, no post-poll alliance was able to show a majority support in Lok Sabha. Now, what is the option available with the President of India? Sir, the option available with the President of India is to just dissolve the House and declare for the fresh elections. Third statement is also correct. Dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by the President of India. In exceptional circumstances, does so on the advice of the Council of Ministers. Answer for this question means option C, there is no anything. So in fact, you can just count the numbers of questions that were directly from the Constitution of India. Number 1. Yes. Okay, just take a second. And in fact, dissolution can also be connected with the Constitution of India. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, delimitation commission. Yeah, again, article number 82 can be connected. So 11, 11, and 12, 13. Yeah, almost 13 questions out of 20 directly from the Constitution of India. Isn't it? The fundamental basic law of the land. So I hope you understand the pattern of the CS question paper. And the question paper was very easy, and that is the reason why we were able to complete it within 1 year. The discussion would, if there are usually 20 questions, the discussion would get expanded over 1.5 hours sometimes, and we were able to complete it within 1 hour, which means that the paper was very factual, very easy, straight away questions, direct questions. So I hope you all had a nice experience writing the prelims examination, especially the students, the aspirants of the ClearIAS would have felt that comfort while writing the examination, because everything, each and everything in relation to the polity, I can guarantee you that we have done it in the classroom program, my dear friends. So I hope you would do great in the mains program also, the mains exam also, and would like to see you on the success podium. So till then, it's goodbye.